Right, it's time for match 2 this afternoon. It's the climax of the men's season. It's the ATCO PSA World Series final. So please welcome our first finalist from France. It's the world number 3, Gregory Gaultier. And his opponent this afternoon is Egypt's former world number 1, Shabana. Well, he's one of the real characters of the game. Gregory Gaultier, former world number 1 in 2009. He's now number 3. He turned pro in 1999. He won 2 titles in 2011, including the Qatar Classic in October. Gaultier has played well throughout this competition, dispatching former world number 1, Kareem Darwish, in the semis yesterday. So, how has he found it coming back in the new year?
Yeah, the season was quite long in 2011, a lot of tournaments, so it was tough to come back after the new year and start playing tough matches, because here, you know, you play the top 8 players in the world. It's like winning the Masters in tennis, so it's really huge. It's one of the most prestigious tournaments to win. So yeah, I'm happy to be back in final. We have the chance to have the glass court that we can set up in different areas, like in Hong Kong, in the Harbor, in New York, Grand Central, here at Queens. So it's a great chance to show the public what squash is about, and having television is a big bonus, and it will probably help to get into the Olympics, and that's what we want.
Shabana is the 4 times world champion. The former world number 1 is now at number 8. The Maestro has 27 career titles to his name. Now, these 2 players have met 22 times before, with the Egyptian leading that head-to-head 10-12. He's known as one of the cleanest strikers of the ball, and he's back to his very best yesterday, beating the world's number 1, James Woolstrop, in the semi-final. So, how does Shabana feel about this tournament?
Super Series final, I wasn't played, it was a big blow. I was playing well, but I'm extremely lucky to be in the final this year round. It's a great tournament, and it's great to be part of it. Best of 3, it depends. If you're playing well, of course, it's going to suit you. On the flip side, if you play bad the first game, you're in trouble. So I think with this format, having the top 8 players playing each other every day in a pool stage, I think it has to be best of 3. Come to the final, you're playing a best of 5, so it's just a normal match now. Winning the World Series final would be a great addition to my career. I think it's one event that I've missed so far. It would be great winning a tournament of such high quality with a field of amazing players, and to win it would be a great thing. So I'll do my best. If it happens, it's great. If it doesn't happen, I'll try next time.
It is a futuristic setting for the World Series finals here in West London. We're ready for the main event. Shabana versus Gregory Gaultier in the men's final. The centre referee for this match, Roy Gingell, the left referee, John Massarella, and the right referee, Peter Zoberland. Let's hand you over to our commentators, Paul Johnson and Joey Barrington.
Well, what a final we have for you here at this ATCO PSA World Series squash finals. And PJ, this could be the makings for an absolute epic.
Well, both players coming into this final, Joey, in emphatic form. It was the left-handed Maestro who started to really find his game. He got off to a slightly slow start to this World Series, but it's every match as he's progressed, his game has really started to pick up, and looked very, very strong yesterday in his defeat over the world number 1, James Woolstrop. But what an opponent he's got here, Gregory Gaultier. Very, very quick mover on the squash court, blistering pace, and similar to Shabana as well, he has improved with every match. So both players on very, very good form, and a very closely contested final in prospect here.
Of Egypt to serve, Gregory Gaultier of France to receive. The match is best of 5 games. Level.
Well, the left-handed maestro from Egypt starting this ATCO PSA World Series squash finals. I really do feel that the Frenchman, PJ, is going to play the same tactic as he did against Karim Darwish yesterday, which was a very patient, physical beginning to the match. I think if there is a weakness in the armour of Omar Shabana, it is the physical side.
Well, it will be at this stage of the tournament, Joe. Obviously, it's the finals, but this is slightly different to the earlier rounds, where this is now the best of 5 games. So the first player to win 3 will come out on top, and the earlier format has kind of suited Omar Shabana. We know how talented and gifted he is with the racket. The one area that could possibly cause any concern for the Egyptian would be the physical aspect. And up until this stage, he hasn't really been tested yet. So, again, I think that could slightly favour Gregory Gaultier, but you really cannot write off the left-hander. One of the most enjoyable players to watch, just makes the game look so simple and does the most difficult things with relative ease. So a real pleasure to watch. But what a start from Gaultier here.
He really has come out with his tail up, Gregory Gaultier. See how positive he's being. It's raced to a 2-love lead. Well, we are into a best-of-5 scenario for this final. All the matches previously to this one were a best-of-3 format.
Left box, 3 love.
Well, a very good start already from Gregory Gaultier. But no real cause for concern for Shabana just yet. These two have played 22 times previously to today, and it's a very slim margin that Shabana has, 12-10, I think. And we have seen some shaky starts from the Egyptian previously, being completely dominated by the Frenchman, but comes back and turns those matches around. But at the moment, that's 3 cross-court nicks from Gregory Gaultier, and he's looking very confident already.
Well, he is. I mean, I thought he might be slightly more patient, but he's being aggressive, but it's coming off for the Frenchman here, and he's justifiably going for positions on the court. Also, Joey, going back to a point that Lee Beachell made in the studio earlier, Shabana hasn't won a major event over here in the UK. He's obviously played very well, and unfortunately they couldn't complete the final last year. But Gregory Gaultier seems very comfortable playing here, especially in the London area, so could be a contributing factor maybe. Well, they did actually play in the World Series finals back in May 2008, and Gregory Gaultier won that one 3-love.
And out.
It's the first mistake there from Gaultier.
Shabana with his first point on the board at 1-5.
It was an amazing performance yesterday from Omar Shabana, toppling the newly crowned world #1 James Willstrop, and I do feel that if he is going to win this World Series final, he will need to repeat that kind of performance here today against Gregory Gaultier. Gregory Gaultier said that his earlier rounds, he didn't feel as though he was moving quite as fluidly and as well as he did in his match yesterday. And if he can regain some of that movement and that athleticism that we saw against Karim Darwish, it's going to be a very difficult night here for Omar Shabana.
Well, this is where he makes it so hard for his opponents to break him down. A little bit of a cuddle there. Both these players are actually good friends off the court.
Right box.
I'm pleased he didn't rugby tackle him. See a let ball being played. The deadly thing with Omar Shabana, though, PJ, is although he's down by 4 points, he's possibly the best in the world for acquiring points quickly.
Well, we've seen it in the past from the Egyptian, haven't we? Has got himself off to some, what we think, terrible starts, but manages to win points at ease. So certainly can't write the Egyptian off at this stage.
Well, that's good to see. Gaultier just conceding his pick-up, acknowledged there by Shabana.
2-5.
The ball was a double hit on the racket. Oh, that is improvisation at its finest, PJ. He's so open to the front wall. Look at the dexterity in his hand as he produces that.
Well, quite brilliant there from Gregory Gaultier, and I've never seen him come out with such an array of shots at this early stage of the match. It's 4 outright winners that he's played here against Shabana. Normally a sign that somebody's very confident when they're in that kind of form.
Somebody in the front wall just... possibly one of the photographers there, showing his appreciation for the shot. So 6-2 Gaultier. Well, look at this now from Shabana.
Well, it's much better from the Egyptian, starting to move Gregory Gaultier around quite beautifully now.
Yes, lad.
Safety precaution there from Shabana. It was a very wide hit cross-court onto the backhand side, and had Shabana played this ball, may well have hit his opponent
6-2.
here. And with the ball travelling up to close to 160 miles an hour, that could have been very painful.
Certainly could. I think the world record's 178 miles an hour, and that's by the tall Australian Cameron Pilley.
Yeah, that's right.
7-2.
So Gaultier presses on. Perfect first game so far from Gaultier.
Well, Gregory Gaultier is onto the ball so quickly here, trying to take as much time away from Shabana as possible, because he knows just how dangerous the Egyptian can be.
Well, look at the court coverage though from the Frenchman.
Yeah, but it's done with such ease though, Joey, as well. He's never seems flustered or as though he's struggling or scurrying around. It's just such controlled and explosive movement.
Well, he really is taking command of proceedings here, Gaultier.
He also just looks so relaxed on the tee as well. Always waiting and never really guessing and anticipating too much. I think he's so confident in his movement ability, he believes that he can pick up pretty much anything.
Gaultier. Left box, 8-2.
Gaultier taking the stroke here, moves to 8-2. And just talking about his movement, he does a huge amount of shadow movement, which is called ghosting, which was actually invented by one of the legends that we saw previously on the interview there, Jonah Barrington.
Well, I think he was British champion at age 40, Mr. Barrington, so he was clearly doing something right, Joey.
He certainly was, and that could give you a bit of passion, although you're 45 now. Shabana still just trying to get a nose into this first game.
Well, that's being made very difficult at the moment from the Frenchman. Hasn't really put a foot wrong, Gregory Gaultier.
Well, look at that.
Well, there's not much you can do about that, though, Joe.
There is not much. Not even the movement of Gaultier able to get anywhere near this one.
3-8.
Trademark Shabana on that forehand side for the left-hander. It's too good a shot there.
Yes, lad. 3-8.
Shabana's not really asking for a let here.
Video review,
Joey.
please, Mr. Gaultier, on the yes-led decision.
Well, this is interesting. You feel that Shabana wasn't actually asking for it, but anyway, It's been given as a let, and Gaultier is reviewing it, and rightly so. I thought this was actually a bit too good. Well, from that angle, you can see he could possibly move across.
Well, I do feel that the line through to the ball for Shabana was impeded by Gregory Gaultier here. Shabana's ball just clipping the front wall, side wall join. It's a great length by Gregory Gaultier, but Shabana could have gotten there and taken the ball early, so that's a great overall from the referee there.
3-8. Mr. Gaultier has no reviews remaining.
So the original decision being upheld, Gaultier losing his ability to review, unless this goes into a tie-break, which if he plays like this, it certainly won't.
Well, this movement again into the front left corner, made to look so easy by Gregory Gaultier. So controlled whilst moving at such a high pace.
Look at that, he's basically done the splits there and stayed balanced and got the ball back with interest, Gaultier. Frightening, his movement abilities on the court.
Well, again, the movement of Gaultier must be so frustrating from an opponent's perspective, because you wonder just what you have to do to get the ball past him.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to hit very exaggerated width, PJ.
You make it sound so simple, Joe.
Well, look at
great
that
delay, great deception here from Gregory Gaultier.
10-4.
Waiting and waiting and luring Shabana into the front of the court and then just flicking the ball cross court for the winner.
So Gaultier now with 6 game balls.
Well, it's real exhibition stuff there, but Gaultier's ball did clip outside the line.
Yeah, that is out, yeah.
This is down, this is out.
That's good.
It's out?
That is good.
I saw it here on the glass.
Sidewall. All agree, ball at the ball inside.
Neck.
Yeah, all down. And
Confirmed by the 3 referees.
Game ball.
Ball was out on the sidewalk. Shabana serving at 5-10. Gaultier still with 5 game balls. Oh, that's just...
Well, that's Shabana at his best there, Joey. Wonderful control of the racket head here. Delicate cross court into the backhand nick.
Well, he's made the error there, Shabana. The pressure too much for the left-handed maestro. Gregory Gaultier, the number 2 seed from France, closing out the first game, 11-6 in 13 minutes. But he really did come out of his traps firing, Gregory Gaultier. I thought he wasn't going to be possibly as positive as he was, but it happened for the Frenchman. His movement is the best it's been all tournament so far. Omar Shabana not getting himself into this game yet. Plenty more squash to come, though, from this men's final.
Gregory Gaultier comes out flying. The second set here in West London coming up next.
So Gregory Gaultier starting this second game, the ATCO PSA World Series squash finals. Has that first game under his belt. And PJ, this is the best I've seen the Frenchman play for a long, long time.
Well, Omar Shabana's going to have to find something a little bit special here if he's going to get himself back into this match, because so far it's been complete domination by the Frenchman. You can see there he's looking very relaxed on court here.
He is. He's naturally quite maniacal character, Gregory Gaultier, but he's got his mental state to perfection here so far. Did miss out on these finals last year due to a horrific adductor tear. can see the hunger in Gaultier, though. Towards the end of the year, he started to play very well in 2011, so he's come up here and he's pretty much in peak form.
It's great to see the Frenchman back on court, Joey, because the adductor muscle that he sustained in the World Open was a potentially career-ending injury. And I know Gregory Gaultier at times was really struggling during his rehab, and I think he's almost come back a changed man. He's really enjoying playing again. He's appreciating his time on court, and I think that's one of the key factors to his newfound attitude on the court. And he certainly believes that he's capable of beating all the players on the World Tour. I think there was a lot of frustration in there because he couldn't actually compete and play against these guys. So he certainly come back to full form, and it's great to see him back on court.
Oh, that's
playing
a brilliant
some wonderful
squeeze.
squash.
And that's the patience level that we saw against Kareem Darwish, and it's like a torture
And out.
for Omar
1
Shabana.
all.
He's stringing out the rallies. He's got the first game under his belt, and if he makes his second game a long testing one, then it could kill off any fight Shabana has for this final.
I think that would have been Gaultier's game plan coming into this final here.
Well, look at that. He couldn't call for a closer boast to the top of the tin, and it has to be that accurate and severe to win the rally against Gaultier.
Wonderful finish here from Gregory Gaultier. Good presence in and around the middle of the court here. Taking that forehand volley in short. Again, causing problems for the movement of Omar Shabana, who for me isn't quite as sharp as we've seen in the previous rounds of this tournament. So perhaps feeling the effect of the 3 matches that he's had coming into this final.
Well, we're locked in at 2-all in the early stage of this second game. Gaultier sending Shabana the wrong way. Oh, that's just too good. Trademark Shabana, the pattern of play where he attacks the front corner. If he doesn't get the rally outright, he looks for the cross court on the volley, thundering the ball past Gaultier.
Oh, that's just too good. It was an attempted cross court originally from Gaultier, bouncing too high, giving the left-hander too much time at the front of the court here. And this is what the man's capable of. Perfect backhand drop into the nick.
Makes that look so easy. He's opened up a 2-point cushion now, Shabana. 4-2. He's having a rhythmic patch here, PJ. That hitting of his starting to find all 4 corners.
Well, this is exactly what you would expect from the 4-time world champion. Starting to really find his groove now. Moving Gaultier around wonderfully here. You can see the ball there just glued to the side wall, making life very difficult for their opponents. Wonderful control.
Well, look at this recovery work. Exchanges at the front of the court.
This is one of the toughest rallies so far. Both players covering every inch of the court.
Well, this rally on its own would kill off half the squash community, PJ.
You and I included. Well, the variation of pace here.
Well, it's like two
quite brilliant
boxers sparring away.
Well, Omar Shabana here starting to look a little bit rugged.
This is beyond brutal.
I'm sure this will be...
Well, there'll be a rapturous applause
in the crowd, sure.
Oh, what a squeeze, and what a way to end it. Shabana sucking in the oxygen. I won't be surprised if we don't see the Egyptian bending over on return of serve, but see the intent from Gaultier. That was a massive rally and perhaps a terrific investment for the rest of this second game for the Frenchman. Shabana in a lot of distress there, PJ.
Well, that's by far the longest rally of the match, possibly of the tournament there, Joey, but it was a rally also of very high quality. Both players in control, having to defend it. We had absolutely everything there. And it's a good spell here from Gaultier. He'll be more than happy to have a few more rallies like that, get some more fatigue into the legs of the Egyptian.
Well, he was talking to us earlier about how he hasn't had a real run out yet in this tournament, even though he's got to the final. With it being best of three, felt that he hadn't actually gone through an oxygen debt scenario.
Yes, lad, 4-all.
And that just goes to show the confidence he has in his physical capabilities now, PJ.
Also, just how fit these guys have to be to compete at this level, Joey, for, you know, 35, 40 minutes, up to an hour and a half. It's brutal on the body. That's what these guys train for.
Well, we're locked at 4-all here. Gaultier's brought back the lead from Shabana. Frenchman starting to chip the ball up and down the side walls, just waiting for a counter-attack, and he squeezed him again, and this tactically is very clever.
5-4.
It's a similar game plan to what he actually produced against Shabana in this final back in 2008, which he won 3-love. Just completely cut away all the angles for the left-hander, keeping the ball very close to the sidewall, using height when he needs to, and making the Egyptian initiate.
Well, extending the rallies as well, Joey. The longer the rallies go on, I think will only favour Gregory Gaultier. You can see a little bit of the sting taken out of the racket of Shabana here. You see there, he's bent over double, working very hard in this second game.
Yes, lad, 5-4.
Well, it's a good spell here from Gregory Gaultier. It's 3 points in a row after that wonderful rally. Momentum just starting to move in the way of the Frenchman. Shabana needs to stay strong here, not give away too many unforced errors.
Yes, lad, 5-4.
It's almost a pivotal point of the match here as well, Joey. I mean, Gaultier has a 1-game-to-love lead. We're at the mid-section of the second game. You do feel that if Gaultier builds a few-point lead here, it could really start to run away with proceedings.
Well, he's definitely put dampeners on Shabana after that terrible rally that went on and on and on, which he ended up winning in. Shabana trying to hide his discomfort. He's also trying to increase a bit of pace here, which physically will be taxing for the Egyptian. But he's got to try something because Gaultier's just nullifying and retrieving.
I think tactically this has been a wonderful display from Gregory Gaultier. Very happy to keep Shabana buried in the deep back of the court. He knows that the Egyptian's not quite as dangerous in that area, and then he's biding his time, waiting for half a chance.
Well, this is unbelievable court coverage, but the massive lunge from Gaultier, unable to claw that one back. And this is how hard it is for Shabana to win rallies.
And out, 5-all.
Well, this is the most important stage of the match, the mid-stage of the second game, and he makes an error, and that's something that Gaultier's
6-5.
not shown throughout this tournament. It's the other side of the coin. When he's not concentrating, he does have the ability to make quite a few unforced errors at quick succession.
Well, Shabana working really hard here, not only to stay in the match, but to ask a few questions of Gregory Gaultier now.
Yes, lad.
Just saw one forced error from the Frenchman. And you wouldn't expect anything less, really, from the former world #1. He's come back from bigger deficits than this in the past, Joey, and I'm sure feeling worse. So he's a very gutsy player as well, as very skillful.
No!
Stroke to Shabana.
Review, there's space, enough room. Review.
Video review, please, Mr. Gaultier, on the
Gaultier.
stroke decision.
Nonchalantly asking for his review.
Well, I think Gaultier slips here a little bit, Joey, and well, his line through to the ball was impeded again from the Frenchman, which is from a good angle here as he moves across the body. Yeah,
Well, I think that's a stroke.
Yeah,
that's going to stay as a stroke.
Decision upheld. Stroke to Shabana.
Well,
7-5.
Gaultier
Mr. Gaultier
loses his ability
has
to
no
review unless it
reviews
goes
available.
to a tie-break. Shabana with that all-important two-point cushion at 7-5.
It's a good play here from Shabana.
It's brilliant play, PJ, because I honestly thought that rally early on really did
8-5.
finish off Shabana, but it seems to have mentally fatigued Gaultier. And the Egyptian now with his tail up.
Down.
And there's another unforced error, so encouraging signs here.
9-5.
Shabana moving to 9-5.
Down.
Well, it's another unforced error from Gregory Gaultier. As you said, Joey,
10-5
mentally
game
checked
ball.
out a little bit here.
Shabana now with 5 game balls.
Stroke to Gaultier.
Sure?
Hand out.
Review.
6-10.
Oh, no real argument
Game
from
ball.
Amr Shabana there. He was reaching very high, trying to get that backhand volley back into play. It's a stroke to the Frenchman. Needs to be careful here, Shabana.
7-10. Game ball.
Well, Gaultier also knows that he's got to serve well here.
There's another error from Shabana.
Well, nervous times now for Shabana. He had 5 game
8-10,
balls, and
game ball.
Gaultier's narrowed it down to 2.
Well, there's a few unforced errors creeping in this match now. As you said, Joey, a little bit of tension. And if Gaultier can somehow win this point, start to make things very interesting indeed.
Yes, lad. 8-10. Game ball.
Yeah, it's a simple let here. It
Left
wasn't a
ball,
particularly low drop shot from
He would
Gaultier.
have hit the ball.
3 balls before he gets there.
Well, Gaultier trying to say that the ball he felt was too short, but he didn't let his opponent get through.
Well, pace has increased again here at the back end of the second game. Seeing a great variety in tempo here throughout this match, Joey. It's not all one-paced, hard-hitting.
Well, that's a supreme sign of players that are so in control with the ball, confidence in their own hitting abilities, that they explore the court like they've been doing so far in this final. Look at that power drive. Shabana doing well to stay in this rally, PJ.
Well, it's been an improved last three or four points from Gregory Gaultier. And Shabana cannot afford to lose his focus now. Again, good work being done down the left-hand side wall from both players. Just being nice and patient, waiting for the half chance. It's another long rally here.
Well, look at that pickup from Gaultier. Go back up and down the walls after an exchange at the front.
Well, again, Gaultier settling into his rhythm. Extending the rallies. Keeping Shabana moving around the court.
Or just wanting to slow it down to try and get a bit of respite, PJ. You see Shabana just easing his way to the tee. Chip this one up and down.
Well, it's another
this is
phenomenal rally here.
Savage.
Oof, close to the nick there from Shabana.
Well, PJ, I think we're going to need some rehydration beverages at this rate.
Well, this is brutal, Joey. And after all of that, we're going to have to play the point again.
Well, it's going to end in a let ball, and this is the torturous squash. You see on the Shabana there, trying to get some oxygen.
10 left box.
Stop.
I think the Egyptian will feel a little bit hard done by there, Joey.
Left box, 8-10, game ball.
Well,
I'm so fit today.
Gaultier saying he's so fit today. See mind games, and there's the error. Shabana is rattled here.
9-10.
Gaultier knows it.
Well, now the pressure's on the Egyptian here. 4 successive points for...
Well, it's going to be another let ball.
Yes, let 9-10, game ball.
Gaultier has to serve intelligently, which I'm sure he will. He'll get the ball onto the sidewall, because if it's loose, Shabana shaping up. Oh.
Well, this is another physically demanding rally here. You can see how hard Shabana's working. Stay in the point. There's a half chance.
Still he stays in the rally, Gaultier. That's going to be a stroke.
Stroke to Gaultier.
Well, how brilliantly has Gaultier done here, PJ?
10-all.
He's brought it from 5-10 to 10-all. We're in a tie-break scenario. Either player to win by 2 clear points. Also, both players retain their review opportunity.
Well, momentum definitely with the Frenchman now.
You have 1 review available.
We've had some brutal rallies in this second game.
Well, Gaultier's chest is heaving. I think he got caught by the racket there, but he's using it to take as much time as he wants.
Oh, he's found the nick.
He's found the nick. The ball was so high on the front of the court from Shabana, but it plopped into the nick, and Gaultier completely misjudged it.
And out 11-10.
Well, after all the hard work,
ball.
Shabana now has his 6th game ball.
Yes, lad.
Well,
11-10, game ball.
Gregory Gaultier having to run the diagonal of the court here. It's a slightly loose cross court, but Shabana leapt onto the forehand volley. I think if it had been anybody else, Joe, it may have been a no-let, but you certainly can't question the speed of the Frenchman. Oh, what a finish.
Superb squash by the maestro. Held on to the very end in this second game. Well, what a final we had. 37 minutes of play. Omar Shabana equalises, taking the second game 12-10. Well, Gregory Gaultier started off quite patiently. Omar Shabana physically staying strong in the mid-stages, opening up a substantial lead with numerous game balls. Gaultier fighting back quite brilliantly to take it into a tie-break. And then Omar Shabana striking at the most crucial time. All square here at Queen's.
Omar Shabana wins the game on his 6th game point, having a well-earned rest. He deserves it. Both players must be absolutely exhausted. What a thrilling match this is so far. The third game coming next.
Well, we're into this third game now, and this is turning into a brutal battle between Omar Shabana and Gregory Gaultier. Shabana sneaking the second game in a tie-break. Now we're at 1-1 in the early stage of this third game, PJ.
Well, it was a wonderful finish to the end of that second game there, Joey, and the players do have 2 minutes to recover, regroup, take on some fluids, change the T-shirts and come out, get themselves as fresh as they possibly can. But the beginning of this third game, I do feel, is crucial to the outcome of the match, because if any player gets off to a good lead, once again could start to run away with things, but at the moment they're neck and nothing between them.
And out, 2-1.
I also feel that, Joe, we may see a few slightly quicker rallies as the game progresses. I think the speed of Gaultier perhaps taken away a fraction. Obviously, as they're not as fresh, the quality may not be quite as tight, and I think we will see a few more chances for players. Also, we're into the third game. The ball will have died a little bit, not quite as spongy and bouncy as we've seen in the first 2 games. That obviously then encourages players to be a lot more attacking.
It opens up the court, and rightly so. The softening of these white balls on the glass court, more apparent than the traditional black balls on the plaster courts. And you can see the shortness of the rallies in the early stages of this third game. There's also the physical situation where these players have taken big chunks out of each other, and the edge of the movement, particularly, it looks like from Shabana, is being taken off slightly. Well, look at that recovery. It's like an elastic band, PJ.
Yes, lad. 3-2.
Well, his ability to move into the ball at full stretch and then suddenly recover with such effortless...
Video review, please, Mr. Shabana on the yes-led decision.
Well, Shabana asking for his first review here. The original decision being a let ball. Shabana not happy with it. You see Gaultier stretches in. Oh, he's got... Let's have a look again. Oh, he's got quite a lot of room to play that. I think that will stay as a let ball.
Decision upheld, yes, let.
Well, I think it's a good decision there from the 4th official.
Well, he had room to play the ball. If Gaultier had actually impeded the shot, then that would have been a stroke. Looks like he's gone to get a fresh racket. Interestingly enough, PJ, Gregory Gaultier actually shaves the head of his racket. He sands it down, not personally, he has somebody to do it for him, to make it even more headlight. So he uses one of the lightest rackets on the World Tour. I think the racket weighs around about 110, 115 grams.
3-2 right box, please.
Well, it's a very light racket indeed. I mean,
Obviously, they're the tools of the trade for these players, and everybody's different. Everybody has their own preference. But you can see Gregory, he has a fairly short swing, but does generate a lot of racket head speed. And to do that, obviously, needs a fairly light-headed racket. So,
Down.
I didn't know that he shaved the head of it, though.
He did.
Interesting fact.
Down 3-all.
He does. Well, it's 3-all here. See the exaggerated hitting from both these players to try and get this softer ball to the back of the court behind the service box, really having to hit through their shots. And these are the adaptations that the top players do without thinking, PJ.
Down. Decision, please, yeah. Ball is down.
They are professionals, Joey, at the end of the day, and they know how important it is to get their opponent deep in the back of the court. Just see the forehand kill of Gaultier clipping the tin there. But we see so many amateur players today sometimes trying to go to the front of the court a little bit too early. They see that as the winning area, but if you watch these professionals, if the winning shot is at the front of the court, 9 times out of 10 it's because of the 2 or 3 shots deep to the back of the court previously that have moved their opponent so far back that then makes the front court become much more open. So you see there the length is improving again here in this third game. Gaultier having to work very hard here. There's a mistake.
Well, he's furious with himself. He points to his head,
And
rightly
now,
so. This was the
4-all.
wrong shot from Shabana. He could have gone straight. Gaultier was well out of position, waiting for a cross-court.
Well, it was very casual, wasn't it, from Shabana there. Had the upper hand of that rally.
Well, we really are locked in here. 1-all and 4-all in this third game.
It's a good finish there. It's a poor cross-court from the left hand of Shabana here. Straight onto the racket of Gregory Gaultier. Takes the ball nice and in front of him, feathering it into the front forehand corner. Wonderful finish.
Well, that will give him confidence, and Gaultier taking plenty of time in between serves, which is a good sign of his mental concentration and his calmness. Well, we've got variation in the pace now. It's being accelerated by both players hitting.
Again, Shabana's length starting to punish Gaultier here.
Well, he's made the error, and that's the added pressure he feels with the movement of Gaultier. He set it up perfectly with the length.
6-4, left box, please.
But the Frenchman breathing down his back there. So Gaultier now moves to 6-4. And that's where he's so dangerous, and the service has to be taken care of. Shabana can strike at will. You see the ball not getting into the sidewall. Shabana plucking it for the cross-court nick.
Well, it's a good lesson for anybody that plays squash there, Joey. When you are serving, so important that you do get that ball onto the sidewall, just to give your opponent something extra to think about.
Gaultier just looking at his racket there, but the ball glued
6-all.
again to the sidewall. Shabana's accuracy levels haven't faltered at all, PJ.
I've been very impressed with the stamina here of Shabana.
I don't know how he's got that. And he's anticipated right.
Stroke to Shabana.
Oh, he's a little bit fortunate here, Joey.
So far away.
Video review, please, Mr. Gaultier, on the stroke decision.
Well, at first impressions, it looked as though the ball was actually behind Shabana here. It's a wonderful recovery off the counter drop. Straight drive from Gaultier. But actually, Shabana could have hit that cross court, and if he had hit the ball, it would have been straight into the back of Gregory Gaultier. So his racket's up and he's ready, Shabana.
Oh, the ball was slightly behind him though, and it's about if Gaultier cleared the line of the ball. If we see the Frenchman's movement off this, Does he clear the line of the ball?
Not really.
Well,
it's so close.
it's very close. Well, it stays as a stroke. It's
to
been
Shabana.
upheld by the fourth
Mr.
official.
Gaultier has no
Gaultier's
reviews
got to be
remaining.
careful here. He's demonstrating.
Explain me how you play a ball straight like this. Huh?
7-6.
Well, the crowd are laughing,
Right
but Gaultier has to be careful here because this is where we can see him go very wayward mentally. Shabana now 7-6. Well, look at the aggression, this response.
Well, he steps up the court here, but
he's
an
made
unforced
the error.
Yeah.
8-6.
He's made the error, and Shabana knows it. He's got Gaultier seriously rattled by that situation in the rally previously. The Egyptian will keep his cool, PJ, here.
Well, it's imperative that the Frenchman does the same, Joey.
Well,
It's
he's
the
done it
second
again.
unforced error.
He tried to hit a cross-court nick, way
9-6.
behind himself. Shabana moves to 9-6.
Yes, lad. 9-6.
Again, Shabana's length in this third game, it's been absolutely brilliant.
Gaultier slips but stays in balance.
Yes, lad. 9-6.
Well, it's a good job that Shabana's head wasn't in the way there, Joey. That could have been nasty. See as he comes through here.
Well, you can see he's very irritable out there, Gregory Gaultier.
Well, he wanted to play that ball, didn't he, Joey? Felt he had the momentum in that rally. Maybe his temper's just starting to dwindle a little bit. Great honesty here, though, from Shabana.
Well, he's a class act. He's a real gentleman.
And out. 7-9.
Always concedes his pickups. One of the fairest players on the World Tour, Shabana.
Now.
Gaultier's made the error again, so now
out.
Shabana
10-7.
has
Be a
3
ball.
game balls to go 2-1 up.
Well, he's looking a little bit lost here at the moment, Gregory Gaultier. Seen a number of unforced errors creep in at the late stages of this third game. I think he'll be keen to get off court and regroup himself and come out strong in the fourth, because he's lost his way here.
Well, he has lost his way, and his movement seems to be slightly sluggish, if that's ever a word you can use with Gaultier. But Shabana has struck quite brilliantly. Well, we've had 51 minutes so far. Shabana taking the third game, 11-7. The Egyptian leads by 2 games to 1. Well, what an intriguing third game between these two heavyweights on the PSA World Tour. Shabana physically feeling at a bit of a disadvantage against this ever-powerful Frenchman, but suddenly the mental capabilities of Gaultier going walkabout, and the skill and know-how of Shabana shining through, taking that third game.
An exhausting match for both players here at the Queen's Club in London. Shabana, can he keep going? Will his fitness hold? Does he have enough energy? The men's final continues next.
Well, we have a titanic battle for you. Somehow, Shabana finds himself 2 games to 1 in front of this volatile Frenchman. And he needs to knuckle down here, show a bit more maturity, Gregory Gaultier, PJ, because Shabana has the advantage.
Well, look at the Frenchman's body language already. He's almost running into the service box there. He's going to come out absolutely blistering here in the fourth game.
Well, he's already done that. He's gone straight to 2-love. Just catching Shabana.
Well, I think Gregory Gaultier's game plan here will be
to get forwards up on the tee area, start squeezing the errors by increasing more pace into the game.
The interesting thing is, though, PJ, with the increase in pace, the accuracy levels have got to still be the same. And if you've got a player that likes to play at a fast tempo, that's the double-edged sword, is the accuracy. And if he is loose, Gaultier, then Shabana will pick him off.
Well, that's what makes this game such an interesting one. They're two completely different types of players, contrasting styles. Gregory Gaultier, obviously the faster of the two, but it's the skills and the talent of Shabana that will try to slow that down and take away the strengths of the Frenchman. So it's a real cat and mouse game we've got going on here.
Well, squash is always classed as a physical chess match. Look at that. Well, this match is encompassing all the elements of professional squash, PJ.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this, Joey. Two players on top of their game. There's good variety here from Gregory Gaultier, who started off playing very quickly indeed. He seems to have just slowed the tempo now, so he's really mixing the pace up here.
Well, he shut out Shabana there. There's not a huge amount that could be done, a bit of a mini hug. But the ball in the middle of the court. Gaultier just playing the ball.
3-1.
As you said, Joey, to respect between these two players.
I'm surprised we're not hugging each other here in the commentary box, PJ. Maybe later.
Wonderful finish there, and a fortunate bounce. You can see Gregory kissing to the sky there. He knows how lucky that cross-court was.
4-1.
Finding the nick.
Well, he needed it. He's moved to 4-1. He's building a very solid lead now in the early stage of this fourth game. Well, he's missed that one purely because the ball was so close to the sidewall.
That's good work again from Gaultier. Initially, it was the drive down the right-hand side wall, forcing the weak return. Gaultier, plenty of time at the front left corner. Shabana holding the tee, waiting, and then in the end, it was a very simple backhand drop for the winner. Well-constructed rally from Gaultier there. Starting to get in front of Shabana now.
Well, suddenly we've got a resurgence in pace from both the players. Oh, it's just too good. The technique from Shabana on this counter drop that he plays on the forehand, PJ, he kind of rolls his wrists over, so he's kind of top spinning it, which is quite high risk with a slightly closed racket face, but he gets it down to a fine art.
Well, he seems to do it time after time, the left-hander. And with that top spin that you're talking about, Joe, he actually draws it in towards the side wall, keeping it even tighter. So a very difficult shot.
Well, so is that.
Look at the wrist here. The dexterity it takes in the wrist to play that kind of shot. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, what a response here from Shabana. He's within 1 point at 4-5. He's leading by 2-1, and that's a frustrated error.
Hand out.
Good position there as well, PJ. It was mid-court for Shabana.
Well, there's a half chance there for the Egyptian to level things up in the fourth game. And that's one of the beauties of this scoring system as well, Joey. Every point counts, so you just cannot afford to lose any concentration or give any cheap, unforced errors away, because it just extends the gap between you and your opponent. Oh, there's a mistake.
Wow, it was a bit elaborate, really. I mean, he was
And
both feet off the floor.
5-6.
Oh, he wasn't far away.
I know he wasn't, but what a mistake to make there. Brings Shabana into one within 1 point.
Yes, lad?
Well, there's a lot of physical contact between these two players, hugging each other. You've got Shabana just massaging Gaultier's leg after this one.
Oh, you could just see Shabana's left knee going into the back of Gaultier's calf there. What we know as a dead leg.
Yes, lad?
But
5-6.
Shabana very politely offering to rub it better for him. So. It's great to see the match played in this spirit as well, Joe. There's a lot of at stake here, a lot of pride. Both players in the top 5 in the world, and you can see the mutual respect, and this is how the game should be played.
Certainly. It's going to be another error,
Yes, lad?
another let ball.
5-6.
I want to play this loose shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's his mistake.
Would you like to review?
Huh?
Would you like to review?
I don't review with you because I never get anything.
Play on, man. Right box, 5-6.
Gaultier again getting interacted with the referee there, the central referee, Roy Gingell. He is a real character, but when he has these outbursts, really do his concentration any favours. And he's made the error every time it happens, PJ. It's so apparent.
6-all.
Well, this is where the Frenchman needs to regain his composure. Playing so well up to this stage. As you said, Joey, the moment he gets involved with the referees, very rarely does he come out and win the next point.
Well, absolutely thumping the ball. At the moment, the Frenchman. Oh, this is unbelievable. Oh, look at that! Gaultier throws his racket, but the cross-court from Shabana, so low.
Well, you can never say that he doesn't try hard enough. Gregory Gaultier. Look at this movement.
Tension, he nearly turns his ankle over to try and get that. Speed of the ball flying away from it.
Right
We're
box.
just having a bit of court maintenance due
7-6.
to the sweat from the Gaultier dive. He's got to regain his focus here. We've had a little bit of respite for Shabana. The Egyptian serving at 7-6.
Oh, it's wonderful trickery there from Gaultier. It's how he manages to straighten up this forehand drive.
And out.
Very
10
impressive
more.
indeed. Goes in off completely the wrong foot. It's a good counter drop from Shabana there, but completely wrong-footed. Well, I think we're going to see a huge push here from Shabana.
Well, I mean, the intent is apparent. They're both accelerating. It's like they haven't actually played any brutal rallies. It's like they're starting off the match again, fresh as daisy.
Once again, we see the variation of pace there from Shabana.
Well, what a counter punch. Shabana looking round at Gaultier, feeling that there was no way he could get the first drop shot back. And he did.
8-7.
Well, again, we see Shabana bent over double, trying to get in some extra oxygen to those lungs. Crucial stage of the match now. Well, clever play here from Gregory Gaultier. patiently waiting and waiting. Shabana
7.
eventually moving into the line of Gregory Gaultier here, so no other option than a stroke for the Frenchman. So a mini lead opening up here.
9-7 for Gregory Gaultier, desperate to take this into a 5th game. Oh, he went for it, PJ. And he hit the top of the tin there. He had Gaultier in a lot of trouble. This was going for an outright winner chance.
Right box, please. 10-7.
Well, that error has given Gaultier 3 game balls.
Well, once again, we see the momentum with Gaultier here. He's done very well to claw his way back into this 4th game. It looks like we're going into a decider.
Well, he's done it, Gaultier. He's taken the 4th game. "66 minutes of world-class squash. Gregory Gaultier taking the 4th game, 11-7. Well, they're completely and utterly killing each other out there, these two players. Gaultier's concentration has swung in and out, but he's managed to hold fast. I think physically, the Egyptian finally, after 66 minutes, starting to falter. You see the errors creeping in and the looseness at the very end of that 4th game from Shabana. The tail up for the Frenchman as we go into the 5th and final game.
What a match, one more game to go. Lee, let me ask you straight away, how tired will Shabana be? Because Gaultier came out straight away, he was absolutely flying, and the energy levels in this match are huge, aren't they?
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we're tired just stood here watching, and I just don't know how Shabana's keeping going. I mean, some of the rallies have been absolutely incredible. I mean, they've just seemed to go on and on forever, and the movement to the back, to the front. I mean, they're literally in all four corners of the court, and
Gaultier's really been pushing Shabana around, especially in the early stages, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Shabana's just soaking the pressure up. He's moving into the corners, and he just comes out with the most unbelievable shots just when he needs them. I mean, the skill of Shabana and how he's holding his movement together and soaking up the pressure from a very, very good Gregory Gaultier today is absolutely incredible. I mean, I can't wait for this 5th game.
Yeah, and you mentioned the way that Shabana has also moved Gaultier around as well. But what are Shabana's energy levels like right now? You know him very well, you've played against him many times. How will he be feeling now?
Oh, no question, he will be extremely tired. But I mean, I think he's got to hang in there. He's got to really trust his swing, trust his game plan, trust his play, stay with it, make it as difficult as he can for Gaultier. Because we've seen when Gaultier loses his head and he gets involved with the referees, he generally loses the next 2 or 3 rallies. So it's going to be a real interesting start to this 5th game, and absolutely vital that Shabana gets a good start.
And Vanessa, very quickly, I mean, you know, you've got to take your hat off to these players. This is just a brilliant match, isn't it?
Amazing. I mean, I'm just really happy that it's gone to 5 because it's such entertaining squash. I mean, as far as squash matches go, this is pretty much as good as it gets, I think.
Well, we are looking forward to the final game in this very, very entertaining match. Let's take you back to the action now and take you back to our commentators as well. It's Paul Johnson and Joey Barrington.
We're into the 5th and final game here. And Gregory Gaultier is now being tested physically by Shabana. 66 minutes so far of this final. And PJ, it's so hard to call. I think that tactically, Shabana's got to change his way a little bit, maybe use a bit more height and slow it down just to give himself a bit more respite and then wait for his opportunities to attack. I think if he tries to take Gaultier on at a fast pace, could be trouble signs in the early stages of this game.
I have to agree with you there, Joey. I mean, the Frenchman's speed and his agility are probably his greatest attribute, and that's what makes this such an interesting match. You've got the skills and the
accuracy of Arma Shabana against the speed and agility of the Frenchman. And so far, there's absolutely nothing in it between these two. So it could boil down to the psyche of both players, who can hold it together mentally, play the big points well. And the beginning of this fifth and final game, I feel, is absolutely crucial.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Gaultier puts in a mammoth first rally here.
Gaultier.
Well, that's a harsh decision there for Arma Shabana so early in the fifth game. You can see his movement here as he tries to come out. Gregory standing behind him and not really able to play the ball. But so first blood to the Frenchman.
Oh.
So Shabana's trickery here.
Well, I don't know where you were going, PJ. You were moving off to the left-hand side.
I had no idea where this backhand drop was going, Joey, and neither did Gaultier.
Well, this ball will be so soft now after probably nearly 70 minutes of savage hitting.
Oh, there's a mistake.
It's a dreadful mistake.
Well, you can see how important that point was for Gaultier there. It was half a chance for the Frenchman to take that ball into the front right, but that's an unforced error.
But you can see how hard it is for the players to get the ball to the back of the court. Got to use more height, I think, now.
Stroke to Gaultier.
Well, again, clever here from Gregory Gaultier.
Hand out.
Waiting and waiting until eventually Shabana would have been in his swing.
And Shabana not reviewing because it's such an early stage. Doesn't want to gamble on losing his review if he gets it wrong.
Yes, lad. 2-all.
Don't know about you, PJ, but I've got butterflies in my stomach and we're neutral parties here.
Well, you dread to think how these players are feeling after, like you say, over 70 minutes of play.
Yes, lad.
Why?
2-all.
Why?
You would have hit the ball.
Where am I supposed to stand?
Would you like to review the decision?
Ah, you have no clue.
If you're not happy, you need to review.
I'm not going to review because your friend is the same as you.
2-all.
Well, Gaultier making his point to the referees. Mr. Gingill there seeing the slightly funny side of it. Back to business at 2-all in this fifth game.
Oh, there's never a dull moment when the Frenchman's around, Joey. Wonderful
look
character.
at this. Shabana's diving around. That's got to be a let ball.
Yes,
That's
lad.
not a stroke.
2-all.
Gaultier exaggerating his swing slightly there.
Call, please.
See Shabana. He really does. When he dives, he always gets the ball back. Well, both players will be quite happy to have the court white, giving them a little bit more recovery time. 2 minutes between games isn't exactly a long time to try and regroup, is it, PJ?
Well, not if you've played 70 minutes of squash in between, Joey, no. But these guys are professional athletes and they do have the ability to recover very quickly.
2-all.
Get themselves as close to 100% as possible. Tremendous angle there from Arma Shabana. Once again, moving the Frenchman around.
Yes, lad.
Just a little bit of traffic in the middle of the court, so just getting a little bit untidy here. But I think psychologically, again, this is a crucial stage of the match for both parties.
Well, we're locked in at 2 games all and 2-all.
let, 2-all.
Do tend to have this situation when both players are getting tired. Their movement off the ball is not as quick as it was when they were fresher, so the traffic problems start to happen on the court. I can't believe it.
He's got it.
Oh my lord, this is unbelievable. And he's made the error. Gaultier doesn't know what to do there. Shabana is moving around the court like a 19-year-old.
Well, 2 dives in this rally here from Shabana. There's the first off of the cross court. Gaultier dropping across the court at the front again, and in the end it was the intimidation factor, knowing that Shabana was breathing down his neck there, the Frenchman just clipping the top of the tin.
Hand out, 3-2.
But after 75 minutes of play, an unbelievable rally.
Well, it just keeps getting better and better, PJ.
That's good improvisation here from Gregory Gaultier. Just dropping his racket head across the ball here. Ball coming towards his body initially.
3-all.
Flicking the wrist, and there you see the drop going into the front left corner.
Well, the adrenaline seems to be surging through the veins now, Shabana. It's like that rally's woken him up. The one previously.
Well, another injection of pace here from both players, and there's Gaultier.
Well, look at that.
Running after the ball. He's sensing that Shabana's starting to falter here.
4-3.
Leaps onto that forehand drive.
Yes, let, 4-3.
Gaultier just edging it in this 5th game at 4-3.
Well, Shabana.
Yes,
not
let.
my fault. The racket stuck in his leg. Yeah, but it's not my fault.
Video review, please, Mr. Gaultier, on the yes, let decision.
Shabana could have got to this ball, Joey. I just think he was trying to show the referees that he could have got to the ball before it bounced twice. He does actually catch Gaultier as he goes through. It was a good shot from the Frenchman, but they just collided in the middle of the tee area. And it's very difficult to ask for a let as you're mid-swing here. You can see him moving forwards, gets his racket underneath the ball before it bounces twice. So I think that should be upheld by the 4th official.
We'll see it one more time here.
There's a good length initially from Gaultier. It's a wonderful forehand volley, but...
No, he gets his racket underneath it, and there is contact.
Yeah.
Sufficient contact to
Decision
warrant a net ball.
Yes, let.
Correct decision. So the review, which was used by Gaultier, has now been lost.
4-3, right
Again,
pass.
this is where, well, I mean, the original decision was actually a let ball, but the review system, PJ, really is added to the game.
Oh, perfect example there. Joe, I think it's been a huge positive addition to the World Squash Tour.
4-3.
Certainly don't envy the referees in these kinds of matches. Joey, things are happening so thick and fast, and decisions have to be made pretty much on the spot. And there's an error from Gaultier.
Testosterone exuding off the court here. Both players getting very emotional.
Well, temper's starting to fray a little bit here.
I really do feel that the breaks in play have certainly helped Shabana regroup.
Well, the quality's up again here. It's quite surprising that they've managed to maintain this level throughout the entire match. This will be coming up close to the hour and 20-minute mark now.
4-all.
Joey, and they're still toe-to-toe here.
Well, the quality hasn't reduced in any way.
Gaultier just composing himself.
Yes, lad. 4-all.
Again, I really do feel that the breakages going on here, stoppages, are helping Shabana, because it means that Gaultier has to keep trying to retain his focus, and it also gives Shabana that little bit of extra time to keep recovering physically. See the Egyptian chipping the ball up and down the walls.
Well, it's very intelligent play from Shabana. He knows very well just how quick Gregory Gaultier is, and just by keeping this ball nice and tight, nice and high down the side wall, that takes away that speed from the Frenchman. And also gives Shabana more time to recover back to the tee and get himself into a great position around that short line area.
Well, we're just over the hour and 20 of play here, PJ.
Well, you certainly wouldn't know it, Joey, by the quality of squash we're seeing here.
Oh, look at that movement from Shabana. Oh, what superb coverage by Shabana, and then he turned it around when he had the opportunity. I mean, the speed at which he got the ball back there, and then shaping up for the backhand volley.
5-4.
Oh, Gaultier looking a little bit flustered there, Joey. You can see he's just battling, shaking his head. He needs to just calm himself down here a little bit.
Oh, that's just brilliant. This is brilliant. He didn't panic at all there, Shabana. He knew Gaultier was shaping up for the attack at the front, and he waited to see if it was loose, and then he struck.
Well, it was a little bit reckless there, the forehand attempted kill from Gregory Gaultier. Shabana again, wonderful touch at the front of the court.
I don't know how he's recovered that one. Shabana seems to be moving even quicker now. That's outrageous. That is an outrageous rally. Both players on the ground. Gaultier catching Shabana's leg. I truly hope the Egyptian is okay.
Decision, please.
Oh, you could just see there Shabana's leg being taken from under his feet.
I think he's okay.
I'm out of balance.
No, you played the shot.
Yeah, of course.
The shot was too good. No let.
Yeah, too good. Too good for you.
Well, hopefully, after all the outbursts, Gaultier might go and check to see if his opponent's okay.
Well, it's a complete leg
That's
sweep there from the Frenchman, obviously
Mr.
totally
Gaultier.
unintentional, but Shabana's
Next
feet
time
just
it will
being
be code of conduct.
whisked
Thank
from
you.
underneath him.
Next time, next week. I understand you don't like French, but be easy.
Conduct warning, Gaultier for dissent.
Well, Gaultier's getting a bit disrespectful here to the referee, and Shabana knows that this
Left
will
box,
aid his
7-4.
run in this fifth game. He's going to take his time and let Gaultier chat away
Left box
and lose his
is
concentration.
7-4.
Well, I think regardless of the contact that was made there from Gaultier on Shabana, the shot quality was far too good.
Far too good. Far too good, even for the movement of Gaultier.
Well, let's hope that the Egyptian's okay here.
Well, he's gone for a reckless shot, and you cannot do that against Shabana. The ball is loose. He's got so many options, and he puts the right one in. He moves to 8-4. Well, the cogs have come off Gaultier. Shabana striking for home now.
9-4.
Ever closer at 9-4.
Well, Shabana has kept his calm here through the testing times of this 5th and final game. And you feel that it's almost been the undoing of Gregory Gaultier here.
Under the drive there, you can see his body language.
Well, Shabana's still got to push hard here.
Come down.
You can see him just
5-9.
regrouping himself. Gaultier leaping onto that forehand cross court.
Yes, let. 5-9.
There's so much space. Here, here, here.
Again, Gaultier has to take charge of his service, because if it's loose, PJ, there's only one place it's going to go, and that's the cross-court nick.
I'm sure Gaultier is well aware of the...
Oh, look at this recovery. Oh, my goodness me. Shabana putting in actually quite decent lob here. Gaultier jumping up and controlling the ball down into the nick
6-9.
behind himself.
Well, we saw Gaultier come back from a 10-5 deficit earlier on in the match to take it to a tie-break.
He's in trouble here. Oh, Shabana! He's gone for the trademark cross-court nick off the floor.
Well, look at this accuracy here. What a time to play a shot like that.
And out 10-6.
Well, that
Match
extravagant
ball.
shot has brought the great Omar Shabana 4 championship balls.
Well, the accuracy there from the deep left-hand side from Omar Shabana. Another furious rally.
Oh, what a response there from Gaultier. Digging so deep. Somehow conjuring up the power to put Shabana under severe pressure.
And out.
Still, the
7-10.
Egyptian has
Match
3
ball.
championship balls. Well, he's got to get this service in the sidewall, PJ.
Well, I'm sure Shabana would like to go out in a blaze of glory here. I think any half chance, he'll be looking to fire that ball in short. Again, great recovery skills from Gregory Gaultier. Oh, he's done it.
I don't believe it. How's Gaultier got these balls back? Look at this.
Well, Shabana must have felt like he'd won this rally 3 times
Right
over
ball.
here.
8-10. Match ball.
Well, he was thinking that was a double bounce, and Gaultier clearly got it. I haven't seen the Frenchman fight like this ever.
Yes, lad.
Why? He puts in the middle.
Well,
He
Shabana...
would have hit the ball.
When you play loose, can you goes around? Can you go around?
Well, I don't know why he's talking.
No, he
That's-
would have hit the ball.
Yeah, right.
In this scenario, I have
8-10,
no idea.
game ball.
Again, the Frenchman has to serve well here. Oh, the maestro's done it! Shabana has won his first major championship on English soil. What a performance by this legend of the modern game. Standing ovation for Shabana. Well, he's sprawled out on the floor here. We're waiting for an interview. We're going to have to get the oxygen tank for this great man. I really can't see him talking anytime soon.
I think you deserve a lie down. Ladies and gentlemen, Shabana. Well, thank you for what was a truly entertaining, epic match. Quite incredible.
Keep going.
Okay, I'll talk. I mean, seriously, how significant is this at this stage of your career and at the start of a new season?
I can't plan it better. I think I was nearly out last year, thinking whether it's time to watch the players play instead of playing against them. If it wasn't for my family and a few friends, one of them was Greg, kept telling me to push, and I tried my best. I live one more day.
Well, actually, you've never won on UK soil. That must make this victory even sweeter. You're certainly a favourite with the crowd here and all the English fans.
I'm not going to miss that question, so thank God. I expect nobody to ask me again if I'm going to win.
And a word on your opponent, because he was fabulous today, wasn't he? Really giving it his all. Perhaps Gregory would like to come and join us. Gregory, do you want to come and join us? It means it gives you a chance to chill out a bit more. Here he comes. That was truly wonderful. I mean, very difficult one to call right until the end.
Yeah, it was tough. I thought I was going to win 3-love, but no. No, he came back strong. I'm really happy for him because he was really struggling the past few months, and he dropped in the ranking. He had a big lack of motivation, and I went through this period last year, and I managed to come back, and I'm really happy for to have managed this, and I'm happy for him, you know, because he's great for the game. As you can see, to me, he's the best player, even if I think I can beat him, and he's a great example, and I'm like 3-4 years younger than him, and I learned a lot from him, and it's good to keep pushing each other.
Literally, physically pushing each other.
And yeah, it's a great battle between the top 5, 6, 7 players. So I'm enjoying, you know, competing against them, and I'm disappointing to lose a final, but I'll be back for the next tournament, and hopefully I win the next one. So thanks for everyone.
I'd like to present to you the ATCO PSA World Series champion, Shabana.
What an incredible match, and congratulations to Shabana, the World Series squash champion. The presentation coming next. Welcome back to the Queen's Club in London. We've had a terrific afternoon of World Series squash. Straight back to your MC, Natalie Pinkham.
Right, it's presentation time. So to make the presentation for the ladies tournament is the chairman of the WSA, it's Ingrid Lofdale-Benser. And the runner-up of the ATCO WSA World Series is Madeline Perry. And the ATCO WSA World Series champion, Malaysia's Nicole David. To make the presentation for the men's tournament, the chairman of the PSA, Ziad El Turki. So the runner-up of the ATCO PSA World Series, the Frenchman, Gregory Gaultier. You can drink it. The ATCO PSA World Series champion, Shabana. So the World Series champions, Nicole David and Shabana.
What an epic final match we've had there, and what an epic tournament we've had here at Queen's Club. Lee, let me ask you, that final match, that doesn't happen too often in the world of squash, does it?
Oh, still shaking. Unbelievable match, absolutely incredible match, and
He still looks knackered now, doesn't he, Emma?
And so he should after a match like that. I mean, it was such a fitting final for an absolutely fantastic event this week, and I'm just so pleased for everyone, who's put the work into the event, and everyone who's come down and enjoyed a match like that, because I'll tell you what, that's one in quite a few, that match. Absolutely incredible.
Vanessa, let me just ask you about Shabana's fitness levels. He is obviously one of the more mature players on the circuit, and after he went down in that first game, I think a lot of impartial observers thought, well, maybe that's going to be a 3-love loss.
Definitely, we were so happy when he won that second game, because I think if he hadn't done and he'd gone 2-love down, that would have been very difficult for him to come back from. But it was incredible. I mean, from about halfway through that match, he literally looked like he was on his last legs. But the quality of his squash was just so high right up until the end. Amazing, amazing performance.
Well, let's head back and listen to the speeches in the presentation.
Okay, we'd like to just get a quick word from you two on the quality of squash that we've seen over the last few days. It's been wonderful, hasn't it?
It's been absolutely phenomenal, and from all the women in WSA, we are so grateful to be part of this, and a huge thanks must go to Ziad, who has relentlessly tried to put the women on, and finally we made it. So with the help of ATCO and all the other sponsors, thank you very much.
A cheer for Ziad and for the girls. Ziad, you have worked incredibly hard and it's all been worth it. What a wonderful tournament.
I think it's been an incredible few days. I've been trying, as she said, to make this to include the women, and to finally have the women here, and to have the greatest player, woman player this decade has seen, to have her name, as the first on the trophy is something incredible. And also for Amr Shabana, who is, there's no argument, he is one of the best players ever. And to have his name included, if you look at the trophy, you look at the past winners, Chris Dittmar, Brett Martin, David Palmer, and those are runners-up. And to have him included there. Gregory has won it twice, he's been a runner-up once, and now Amr Shabana, well-deserved win. He needs to be included in this, in this tournament as a champion, and I'm very, very proud of it.
4 wonderful players on court and terrific people all around us. Thank you very much, Ziad and Ingrid. Thank you.
He is a legend of the game, and Shabana has just proved there that, his legacy is enduring, really. Winning when people thought he was past his best, Lee, that was quite some feat, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Like he said, he's thought about hanging the rackets up, he's wondered whether he can still do it at this very level. Amr Shabana's not going to be a player that's going to drop down the rankings. He's not going to be happy to play around the 10 to 20 mark in the world rankings. He wants to be competing with the very best in the world. And he's just proved to himself this week that he still can do that. So it's going to be an interesting year.
There were some brilliant rallies in that game, weren't there? There was one which was 2 minutes 57 seconds. We won't show you the whole rally, but the last few seconds, it was just exhausting and exciting to watch, wasn't it? Vanessa, in the end, both players were utterly exhausted, but still producing great squash, weren't they?
There was so many examples of rallies like this where both players were just scrambling around all 4 corners of the court. Amazing. And Shabana was on the end of quite a few rallies there, but he would just come out with some brilliant shots when he needed them. And it was such a great contrast in temperament on there as well.
You mentioned those brilliant shots that Shabana was coming out with. He came up with some kind of dramatic lunges towards the end of that match, didn't he? And at one point in particular, which stood out for us. At this point, Lee, you said he was absolutely exhausted, but he was still managing to reach for these incredible shots.
That's not a reach for a shot. That is just something that normal people just cannot do. A dive full length, so close to the glass wall, to still keep that distance of the racket to the ball, to actually make a good return and win the rally. I've played squash for a long time. I don't know how he does that.
It was a physical game as well, wasn't it? We were calling Gregory Gaultier almost the John McEnroe of tennis, and it did get quite physical, quite tasty at times, didn't it?
Yeah, well, he kind of is the John McEnroe of squash, but the thing with John McEnroe is he actually used to play better after he would get rattled, whereas I don't think that really is the case with Greg. And I think that was quite crucial in the end. There's a few really important points where he'd have a discussion with the ref and he would lose the 2 or 3 points after that, and I think that really helped Shabana in some crucial moments in that match.
Do you agree there? Do you think that Gaultier could actually learn from this and try and keep his control a little bit more? Because some of those exchanges with the referee as well, they were funny to watch, but he was losing it, wasn't he?
No, he were, and in them little exchanges, they gave Amr Shabana just a little bit of time, and a few seconds just to compose himself again, maybe take a little bit of oxygen in and get ready for the next rally. And I think, particularly against someone like Amr, that suits his game very, very well. And we saw Greg just make a couple of mistakes after the exchange with the referee or a break in play, and let's not sort of play down Greg's part in this final. He played extremely well, and some of his retrieval skills, his speed around the court. A lot of players today against someone. He beat the world #1 yesterday, Amr Shabana, playing like that, reasonably comfortable at this level, but. It was an epic final, absolutely epic.
And Shabana enjoying the celebrations on court. now. What does this mean for his career in terms of the next couple of years? Can he go on, or is this going to finish him off? He's going to need a few days off, that's for certain, isn't it?
Certainly, but I think he'll keep playing for a little while longer, especially after this. It's a little bit like Madeline Perry, really. He definitely has had thoughts of retirement, which he mentioned in his speech. But you know, if you keep playing like this, why would you not keep going? And I'm happy that he's won, because he's a lovely guy. He's very well respected on the tour. He's very well liked on the tour, and I'm sure even the players will be really happy to see him win.
And he's such an accurate player that presumably that will help him. You know, as his energy perhaps starts to fade, he can still rely on that accuracy, can't he?
Well, yeah, we've seen the last 2 days. James Wilshrott played ever so well against him and had to do, but he just couldn't move Shabana around to the point where he really physically taxed him through the accuracy of Shabana, and that was exactly the same today. At times, Gaultier really felt as though he'd got on top of Shabana from a physical point of view, but he just sticks the ball to the wall. He comes up with incredible shots. He moves the ball and he puts the ball in all four corners of the court, and as a player playing against that, you know exactly what you need to do, but the execution of it is so difficult because he's just so good with the racket. His racket skill is immense.
Let's just confirm for you then the results from today and from the tournament here at the Queen's Club in West London. A dramatic day of squash, and the women's world number one, Nicole David, was triumphant over Madeline Perry. A brilliant tournament for her, but it was 11-9, 11-9, 11-9, only a 6-point difference there, but Nicole David winning. And Amish Shabana, well done to him. He has beaten Gregory Gaultier. Quick word on the future of squash in general. I mean, we've seen a fantastic spectacle here. Just very quickly, can I ask you, what do you think in terms of squash being in the Olympics?
Well, I mean, if this is anything to go by, I can't see how we can be declined in 2020.
Vanessa, what do you think, very quickly?
We should be there. We deserve to be there, and based on this, you know, we really need to be there.
It's become the O word a little bit for squash, but let's hope after this spectacle at the Queen's Club, the sport will be a little bit closer to getting that Olympic recognition that it truly deserves. Well done to Amish Shabana. He is the men's champion. Nicole David is the women's champion. Two fitting champions on a terrific day of squash. Goodbye.